It's a sad but just very real part of our legal practice that we frequently represent clients who are involved in wrongful death claims, claims where they have lost a family member as the result of someone else's bad conduct. That could be car wrecks, it could be tractor-trailer accidents, it could be medical malpractice, what have you, but the point being that they lost a loved one as a result of someone else's bad conduct or negligence. A question that almost always comes up with every client in a wrongful death case is how long does it take for a wrongful death case to go to conclusion here in Mississippi? And the answer to that question is that it really depends. That's not me or any other lawyer being evasive on the question. It's just that it really does depend on the facts of the case. Several factors impact how quickly a wrongful death case moves along. In reality, in some instances, wrongful death cases are among the fastest cases to resolve. For instance, when you have a case where the wrongful conduct of the defendant is clear and there's clear liability and the person died instantly and there's a fixed amount of money available under insurance policy, well, in those situations, oftentimes we can get the claim resolved very quickly. It's just a matter of having competent counsel who's handled those type claims before to make sure that you get full value of the available policy limits. In other instances, sort of at the other extreme of the spectrum, a wrongful death case could be among the cases that take longest. When you have a case that involves circumstances where you have potentially a really high recovery, just the sheer value of that claim means that the defendants and their insurance carriers and the adjusters and their defense lawyers want to dig in their heels to fight the claim harder and drag it out to at least delay, and if not delay, reduce the amount of that figure that they ultimately have to pay out. It also cases where liability is contested, where it's where it's the other person's fault, but perhaps they're trying to shift liability onto some other defendants or accuse the victim of having some liability or what have you, of ways to diminish or spread around liability, but where liability is contested, that's a case where it could take longer to put all the pieces together and do discovery and get the case ready, and so in that situation it drags out. As I mentioned, the more defendants that are involved, the more parties that are involved in a case involving wrongful death, whether that be multiple defendants or whether it be multiple plaintiffs in terms of a whole bunch of family members who are wrongful death beneficiaries with different counsel who have different views on how to pursue the case. All those different factors, number of parties involved, the complexity of the liability issues, the available coverage, what the claim is worth, all that can feed into whether it gets resolved quickly or whether it takes a while to get it resolved. And by a while, sometimes it can take 2 or 3 years to work through a wrongful death claim. What I always advise clients and what I would say to those watching here is that, especially in the context of a wrongful death claim, it is much more important and I think much more valuable to the victims, to the clients, to make sure that you get full value on that claim versus just getting it fast. Because trying to move fast, getting in a rush on the claim, you potentially undercut yourself and you potentially lose out significantly more than holding in there and having a lawyer who works up that claim the right way and really gets ready for trial and positions that case to get full and fair value. So the focus on wrongful death, it's almost always in the best interest of the client to focus on full and fair value versus fast payout. That's not to say that some cases can't be paid sooner than others, but particularly in the context of a wrongful death case, I think that's the best and sound advice, because time periods vary just depending on the circumstances. But bottom line, Brad Morris Law Firm, we're here to answer your questions, whether it be a wrongful death claim or any other type of personal injury case that you have. We will answer your questions, and we're always available for a free consult on any potential case. So I hope this is helpful, and thank you.